What is cooking, sports fans? PGO is back at you with a little New Year first episode of 2024. Brandon, how you feeling?
I'm feeling very good, very zesty today. How are you doing?
Well, zesty, eh? What's put the zest in your step? What's zesty about today?
Because we're trying to run it back. What was it? We went on a heater last year.
I'm gonna
predicting
be real.
the NFL playoff games.
There's a lot of close matchups this year, and
There's a lot.
It's going to be tough to go on another heater. It's going to be tough to run it back, PGO fans. All right? We love you. We're going to
do our best.
We're going to do our best, okay? Have we never not given it our all?
Yeah, exactly. Like, we're always putting 110% in, and this year's even better because 4 of the 6 games, we also, aside from just going to be a good game, we have some big storylines lined up in these games.
And the script writers are cooking up some heat this year.
Yeah, they really are. Honestly, really are.
At this point, if it came out, and I don't think it is, but if it came out that the NFL is scripted, I'd kind of believe it at this point.
Yeah, the way everything's lining up, yeah.
All right. Should we just 100%. Jump right into the action?
Let's do it. Which do we want to just start from the first game and then work our way to the last one?
I want to start with the comeback player of the year.
Oh, all right. So we're going to
Joseph Flaccarino.
Oh, okay. I thought you're jumping all the way to the Monday one for Baker Mayfield. Oh, we're going with Joe Flacco.
Oh.
All right.
See, that was a mislead because it could have been DeMar, could have been Flacco, could have been Mayfield, Mayflower.
At first, I was confused. I was like, why are we talking about Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals? But
come back my ass. If we're talking the real comeback player of the year should have been Mac Jones.
Yeah.
He came back from potential and gave a shit. Now that's a comeback in the other direction. All right.
It really is.
Okay, Mac Jones isn't the comeback player of the year, but he's the back shots player of the year. Buddy got fucked.
Yeah, he really did. It was tough for him.
Oh, that's good. We're a minute into the episode and we've already made a cum joke. That's always good.
Starting off strong.
Advertisers, please advertise on this podcast. So, we got the Texans. No Deshaun. So, first storyline. We're going the Browns minus Deshaun Watson playing the team they got Deshaun Watson from, both under new quarterback leadership at the moment. We got CJ Stroud taking on Joe Flacco. Oh, had a burp there. And the Browns defense. Now, I'm going to be honest. I feel like this one's a no-brainer, but maybe you're going to feel like there's more. I think the Browns do it. I think the Browns do it dominant.
Yeah.
I think the Browns walk through it. And I'm not. And because of Big Dick Flacco, man.
Well, and Big Dick Flacco.
He's not out, is he? He sat last week, but that was just a sit your starters.
Yeah, exactly. And this isn't even to say the Texans are bad. Like, I think CJ Stroud is arguably by the end of next season, I think he's going to be almost a unanimous top 5 quarterback in the league. He's going to be amazing for the Texans for a long time now.
Stay away from those massage parlors.
Yeah. It's too early right now. And the Browns, we know what their defense is. Joe Flacco is probably the coolest dude in the world right now. Yeah, I'm all for. I think the Browns are going to take this one, and I think the Texans will put up a good fight. But I think by the time the game's done, I think the Browns will have really secured a dominant win.
When the pushing comes to the shoving, I think the Browns got it. I think their defense is too powerful. I think as good as CJ Stroud is, we have to remember he's still a rookie. Yeah. And we have potentially one of the best defenses in the league going up against a rookie QB. And I think that, yes, he has the potential to pop off, but I think that alone should speak some doubt into any Texan bettor's minds thinking, not only do we have that, but we do have, I talk about it. Maybe I didn't talk about it last year. I don't know, but I say it every year. I say it to friends. People get this fucking sick of me saying this. But it's with the NFL playoffs, it is a 1-game elimination. You win 4 games and you are the champion.
Or 3.
You're the campeón. 3, depending on who you are. But you know what I mean? Like, You think about the NHL, you have to win. You could potentially be playing 16 games to win that championship. That's a quarter of a season.
Yeah.
Where with the NFL, well, you could make the argument for the season for them as well. But there's less variance because you don't have a game now. Imagine if the NFL did 7-game series. That would be wild.
Yeah, and it's like every second night.
Yeah. There would be injuries galore. CTE would go through the roof, but that would be kind of cool if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Or even best of threes. You got to win too. That would be insane. That would be insane, man.
By the time the team's at the end, they'd have like no players left to play.
No, dude, it'd be the battle of the backups.
If the backups even survived that long.
Battle of the third stringers. Okay, so
I'm all for the Browns.
I think we got to give the nod to the Browns in this one. But another reason I say that, and I think this is going to be a bit of a theme. There's a bit of a theme to this episode. It's getting hot at the right time and not getting cold at the right time. You look at the Browns, I think they're getting hot at the right time. They had their tumultuous start to the season. They had injuries upon injuries upon. But now I think they lost last week, but that was a second string game. But now, you look at what that starting core has done. They're getting hot at the right time. I think the Texans are good, but I think they've just been good this year. It's to be honest with you, they've been in a weaker division.
Yeah.
They haven't had the same competition, and we're going to talk about another team in that spot soon. But I think if you look at that, you have to take into account the Browns are turning up the heat right when they need to the most, and you're going to carry that momentum into the playoffs. So give me the Browns as the first game. What's our other Saturday night game?
It is the return. I don't know if it's the return because I don't know if it's his first game back. But it is Tyreek Hill taking on his former team, the Kansas City Chiefs. We got the Chiefs and the Dolphins. So this is a big one because this is Mahomes' first playoff game with Taylor Swift as a Kansas City Chiefs fan. So I'm just saying.
They lose. God,
just saying.
They lose so bad. I hope they.
Realistically, who do you think? Like the spread is set at 5 right now for the Chiefs.
So here's the thing. Going into it, I thought that the Dolphins had the capability to beat the Chiefs. For that reason I think the Chiefs are getting cold at the wrong time.
Yeah.
But speaking of cold, it's in KC. I do think it's going to be cold on that game.
Yeah.
I've heard, yeah. And you have to look at the fact that Miami hasn't won a game in 40 below Fahrenheit, in 40 below since 2017. They're 0-10 in those games.
And the Dolphins are also kind of on a bit of a skid. Like they're consistently, they start out the season pretty dominant, and then near the end of the season, they really, they kind of tail off. Like they lost their most 2 recent games being to the Ravens, where they got absolutely just piss stomped, 56-19, and then to wrap up the season, they lose to the Bills. And that's a game where both teams were really rolling with all their guys because there was a lot on the line in that game between the two of who would win the division there, and the Bills came out on top. It's really just for me, like it's not even like I'm a big Chiefs fan and whatnot, but again, when it's Mahomes in the playoffs, it's until he lets us down, just puts up one of those lackluster performances that we've kind of seen somewhat here and there throughout the season. It's hard not to go with the Chiefs, in my opinion.
It's hard not to go with the Chiefs, but I do want to make a point of, if it does become a running game, I think the Dolphins have a better running back core. I think Mostert might be injured, but Achane has been doing incredible.
Yeah.
Is Mostert back?
Let me double check here. It says he's still questionable.
Still questionable. So you have to believe they're gonna, if he's able to play, he's gonna play. It's the playoffs. It's the playoffs. You know that soundbite. Playoffs. Talking about playoffs. Another one?
Yeah, and Jalen Waddle's also questionable. Xavier Howard, like the Dolphins they have so many injuries right now, and I think that's really gonna that just really adds up for them. Like it really does.
But I say this being a fantasy team owner, by the end of the year, almost everyone is questionable.
True. Yeah.
And unless they're out, you have to assume that they're going to start in the playoffs. Now, will they be able to make that contribution? I don't know. But I think it does come down to something like, the below 40 makes me worried for the Dolphins. I think both teams are kind of getting cold at the right time, or at the wrong time. That being said, I think being a Chiefs hater, professional Kansas City Chiefs hater, this is the chance to beat them. I think if you let them get too deep in the playoffs, now we're dealing with anything can happen territory. Once you let them get past the first round, you look at years of being a Patriots fan, it always felt like the years they didn't make it, they kind of got bounced early. Usually to the Ravens, it always felt like you get bounced early. Like if you're going to, I don't know. I think if you're gonna get that team out of there, a team like the Chiefs, you have to bounce them quick, or else
can't let them get hot.
You can't let them get hot. And I think right now they're not hot. Now the Dolphins may not be either, and it's going to be a cold game, which goes against the Dolphins statistically. But I think you have to look at the fact that if there's a chance to get the Chiefs out, I think the best opportunity, it's like in the UFC when there's a new superstar that comes into the promotion. And I forget who, I might have been Izzy who said it, but someone said it. They said, if you're going to fight me now because I'm getting better.
Yeah.
I'm improving.
Yeah.
I'm young. I'm getting better. If you're going to fight me now because you're getting the worst version of me. If you wait 3 years until I got the belt, you're not going to be able to beat me. If you want to fight me now. And I think you kind of look at that with like a Bo Nickel situation. Like Bo Nickel, the wrestler, like if we're waiting 3 years to match him up against a top guy, or if a top guy's waiting 3 years to take that matchup, they're not going to be able to beat him in 3 years, regardless of who that guy is. I think he is on an Islam Makhachev, Khabib-esque, Khamzat Chimaev streak to where if you don't get, Khamzat, you really didn't get a shot early, but with, you think about Islam Makhachev, he lost early in his career. He ain't doing that again.
Yeah.
So I think if there's a chance to knock off the Chiefs, I do think the Dolphins possess that opportunity. Are the Dolphins the team to get it? I don't know.
And for what it's worth, just looking at some of the weather, like it's 21 degrees warmer right now for the Dolphins where they're at home.
Yeah.
So, the Chiefs they're already kind of getting adjusted to practicing and playing in that colder weather, whereas the Dolphins, they're going down there and it's not the nice, sunny, warm weather that they've been practicing in. And, I don't know a whole lot about this area really, but for what it's worth, I think that also is another thing that just benefits the Chiefs, already being out there in that weather, being accustomed to playing into it. Not, there's just a lot of factors in it. If it becomes a running game, I think that definitely benefits the Dolphins. But with it again, just until Mahomes really disappoints us in the playoffs and really gets outshined, it's hard not to roll with him. So I'm sticking with the Chiefs.
Damn near impossible, and that's. I want the Dolphins. Part of me is saying the Dolphins could be that parlay buster, but I'm gonna ride with the Chiefs with you because I'm on the fence. I'm sitting on the fence, Brandon. Here I am.
And you know what?
If that's
the one that loses,
on the fence.
And if that's the one that loses, at least we can be like, you know what? We went with Mahomes. It was the better pick because, it would look bad if we go with the Dolphins and that's one that misses. And it's like, you know what? That's what we get for not going with Mahomes in the playoffs. So,
yeah. No, I'm with you. All right. Bills, Steelers. I don't think we even need to give this one. We kind of said we're going to give 5 minutes to each game. So, by the way, folks, this is a quick episode tonight. I gotta host a comedy show later on tonight, and shout out to Mark Norman. Got to host a comedy show tonight. And so we are doing a quick one. Had some technical difficulties. I know you've heard that one a lot in 2023. We left those in 2023, but they showed their gross head in 2024. I don't think we even need to give 5 minutes to this game. Yeah. Bills.
They're a 10-point favorite.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Bills, especially Steelers. We know TJ Watt's not playing. I don't even know who's starting for the Steelers. I think it actually might be Mason Rudolph. And he's you know what? He's the better quarterback. Kenny Pickett's like done. This is like, sorry, Steelers fans. It was cool you made the playoffs. It was cool that, you know, the streak stayed alive for Mike Tomlin, never having a losing season. But with TJ Watt out, like the Bills are running away with this. This will be the biggest blowout by far.
Well, maybe one other one on there. We got the Packers and the Cowboys. I think that's another one that, as much as I love the Packers, and you could say that they're turning up the heat at the right time, I think so are the Cowboys. I don't think I see anyone beating the Cowboys.
Also, Mike McCarthy going up against his old team.
Yep,
it's another storyline.
Script writers are working overtime, man.
Cowboys are 7-point favorite, and they're at home, which is huge. If it was Cowboys on the road against the Packers, I think it's maybe a little bit of a different story because the Cowboys have really sucked on the road this year. But Cowboys at home, the way Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb are playing is just out of this world.
They did get helped out by a little ref ball, but they are undefeated at home.
Yeah. You know, say what you want with that game. I still think even if Cowboys lose that game, I would still take them in this matchup every time. I think it's incredible what Jordan Love has done this first season with the Packers and how hot they've been as of late. But again, it's the Cowboys at home. The way they've been playing, this is another one that's kind of a no-brainer. Not really much to dive into with it, I don't think.
Not at all. Then we have that's 4 games.
This is the one I'm most excited for. Which
game?
The battle of the quarterbacks who were traded for each other. We got Matthew Stafford going back to Detroit to take on Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions. Now, here's one thing I'll say. Because people are pushing this narrative, and I hate it. Because it should be the exact opposite. People are saying this is the return of Matthew Stafford. It's a Matthew Stafford revenge game. No, it's not. Because Matthew Stafford was willing to leave Detroit to go to Los Angeles. Jared Goff was the one who was blindsided by this trade and shipped off to a garbage Detroit Lions team. If anything, this is a Jared Goff revenge game. Because Matthew Stafford's already gone on and won a Super Bowl. He was the one that wanted to leave Detroit. Well, maybe not wanted to, but he was okay with leaving and was like, yeah, you can trade me. I'm done here. I've done all I can. Jared Goff's the one that was brought into this shit team and is now got them into the playoffs. They won the division for the first time in what feels like 10,000 years.
There's a real possibility that we get a Browns-Lions Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That would be crazy.
It's not like to think in a world where it's Jared Goff going up against Joe Flacco in the Super Bowl. Like I would be all for that. I'm here for it. I would love that.
That'd be crazy. All right, who do you got, Nate? Because, I got to say, I think I get this sneaking suspicion. I feel like the Rams are a sneaky good team. I think they're sneaky. I think they are.
Stafford's been hot lately.
He's been hot. The offense has been hot. I don't know much about the defense, but I think they have that sneaky potential. I think they are that team, and I hate bringing this up, but it almost feels a little like the 2007 Giants, where they sneak in under the radar. No one's paying them the attention they're deserved, and they shock everyone. I'm torn. I want to bet the Lions because I really think the Lions. I'm cheering for the Lions. I'd like to see the Lions win. But a week ago, The Rams were a team I said, you know what? If you have money to burn, throw $10 on the Lions to win the Super Bowl because the Rams to win the Super Bowl because they have that sneak in potential. I think
one of the best coaches in the league.
Yeah.
It's tough though because a lot of people that are high on the Rams are just riding on the fact of they've won their last 4 games. Who cares? It was against Week 15 they beat the Commanders only by 8. Week 16 they beat the Saints by 8. Week 17 they beat the Giants by 1. And then Week 18 they beat the 49ers by 1, who was playing almost none of their starters. So it's like you beat 3 shit teams by one in a 1-score game, and then you barely beat a 49ers team with all their backups. So it's like, yeah, sure, they're coming in on a 4-game winning streak, but it's not a dominant 4-game winning streak. It's a 4-game winning streak that the Lions could have easily done had they had those opponents. It's a 4-game win streak that I think even a team like the Chicago Bears would be on a 4-game win streak had they had this matchup to end the season.
That's fair. Now, what I do have to bring up though, and this isn't me being a hater, is Jared Goff that guy?
I mean, he took the Rams to a Super Bowl previously. I mean, they came up short, but
when they had the best defense ever.
I mean, yeah, but you still need a quarterback that can put up points and get you there, nonetheless. And I mean, he's 12-5 with the Lions this year. Like, this is a tough one. This is the game I think is going to be the closest of all.
I think Stafford is a guy that can turn a game around. I don't know if Goff is a guy that can turn a game around. I think Stafford is a guy that can take it into his hands, much like a Mahomes, much like a Brady, much like a Lamar Jackson, maybe even a Brock Purdy. I think he's a guy that can. Dak Prescott even this year. I think he is a guy that can change the outcome of a game. Yeah. When you think about elite game managers, I think Goff falls into that. I think he's an elite game manager. I don't know if he's an elite quarterback per se.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And it's tough because like we said, we want the Lions to win. I'm trying to just keep pumping out reasons why we should take the Lions. But at the end of the day, I think it's really I'm leaning towards the Rams. I want the Lions to win, but I really do think that the Rams win this one.
Really? Yeah. See, and again, I'm sitting on the fence. Here I am sitting on the fence. Now, here's I'm going to kind of go back to it like we were talking about with the Chiefs matchup. If it loses, if we take the Rams, and that's the leg that falters, and that's how we lose the parlay. We're going to be sitting there beating ourselves up. If we take the Lions, and if we say Lions, we're taking you. If we take the Lions, okay?
Yeah.
And the Lions lose, that's the leg that doesn't hit. We'll sit back and go, well, we thought the Rams were going to win. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. But I think at the end of the day, it will be a situation where we went, you know what? We had to ride with one team, and we rode with our boy Dan Campbell.
Yeah. Also, you know what? I do love Dan Campbell, and I'm totally for riding with him. One thing, I'm going to ask you this, and this is going to determine the way we go with this. This is the first home game the Detroit Lions have hosted since 1994. That building is going to be loud and rocking.
Yeah. Yeah.
And do you think it makes it quite difficult for Matthew Stafford and the Rams?
I really think it does, to be honest with you.
Buzzing. Like, it is going to be a electric atmosphere. One that I think we potentially could be looking at it after the game, be like, in our lifetime, because we weren't alive for when they were hosted a playoff game before. This is the first time we're ever going to witness it. We could genuinely, after the game, be like, that's the craziest playoff atmosphere we've ever witnessed.
Yeah.
So like,
I think we got to ride lines.
You want to do lines? I'm
I think
okay
we got to
doing
rines.
lines. All right.
Here's
I'm
what
totally
does
fine
worry
with
me.
that.
We're taking all favorites here.
So far.
Oh boy.
So we got the Monday game.
Eagles.
We got the Bucks taking on the
Eagles
Eagles.
are getting cold at the wrong time.
And Baker, kind of a stud. This is the one underdog that I'm actually really okay taking. I'm really okay with going with the Bucks.
You really think so? You think the
no
Bucks are them?
It's no discredit to the Eagles by any means, but they're coming in really, really cold right now. Their defense is just getting exposed. I mean, they've lost 5 of their last 6 games. I mean, 2 of them being against the Cowboys and 49ers, but then you lose to the Seahawks, you beat the Giants, but then you lose to the Cardinals, who have been bad all season, really. I mean, Kyler Murray did ball out, but like, again, that's a game the Eagles should have won. And then you're fighting against the Cowboys for winning the division, and you lose to the Giants to end the season. They're getting cold at the wrong time, and they're losing to teams that they should not be when they're playing really important games to try and win the division and secure, aside from the 49ers, secure the best home field advantage. It's a tough spot. And I mean, the Bucks are 4-1 in their last, yeah, but they did play some shitty teams. Well, they did play the Falcons, the Panthers a couple times. What are you feeling?
Dude, I'm so torn because this is a tough one. And here's what's crazy. Maybe we're getting teased by the bookies. This is one of the closest spreads. Like, they're less of an underdog than the Rams.
Yeah. Yeah.
By only 10 points, but they're less of an underdog than the Rams. The only spread closer is the Texans-Browns.
Yeah.
It's the only game closer. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
And maybe we're getting fudged around by the bookies.
It's a tough one.
But
I still believe that the Rams Lions game is going to be the closest game we have. This weekend, I think whoever wins.
Am I talking you out of the Rams?
No. I'm saying I don't know who's going to win between the Eagles and Bucks, but whoever wins is going to win by a bigger margin than when the Lions beat the Rams.
So are you saying we're going with the Bucks? Because I'll do it, man. I don't care. I'll do it.
That's the thing, is like, the Eagles should win this game. On paper, they should. But the way that they've been playing lately and the resurgence of Baker, I think like Baker Mayfield's looking at it and like, man, I've been balling out all season. People are even talking about me for comeback player of the year. If he goes out there and takes out the Eagles this weekend, like, he is going to secure the bank.
And you have to think they got weapons. They do have weapons offensively. They still have weapons.
Yep.
Mike
Evans, again, he's what was this year? Was it his 9th or 10th season hitting 1,000 yards? Straight seasons.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards the Bucks, and it's really the biggest thing is just the fact that the Eagles are getting cold at the wrong time, and their defense is severely getting exposed.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm okay with the Bucks in this one, and that's what we do. Like, we can't sit here and just ride with all the favorites. We got to spice it up a little bit, right?
All right. That's our PGO parlay. We got the Lions, Cowboys, Bills, Chiefs, Browns, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Oh,
We're starting the year off with a bang. We said we were gonna. There's a
we
lot of
said we were
a
gonna.
lot of good storylines that I think people are overemphasizing. I mean, they're cool, but I think people are overemphasizing them to kind of to the point where it's almost overshadowing how good some of these games are going to be. Like we kind of brushed over two of them quickly, just because I think everybody's kind of in agreement that those ones are pretty one-sided, and even the bookies are dictating that by the odds. But like four of them, I think, are going to be close dog fights. But we're in for some good games. I think we've cooked together a hell of a parlay. I think we're going 6-0.
All right. Lock it in, boys. You putting 5 bones?
What are we thinking?
I'll ride 5 bones.
I'm doubling down.
10.
Yeah.
I'll ride with you.
We're starting the year off strong.
All right. We're like crazy like that.
We're feeling zesty.
We're feeling quirky.
2024, we're back better than ever, on top of the world, feeling good.
How it should be.
Yeah. This is how we start the year off with a bang. Same as last year. We're going to do it again this year. PGO on top of the world.
PGO versus the world, baby.
Unlike Russell Wilson, we're riding.
Okay, Lions, Cowboys, Bills, Chiefs, Browns, Buccaneers. Lock it in, folks. That's your PGO parlay for the first round for your Super Wildcard Weekend. Okay, I'm going to throw one player parlay at you. It's one of the boosted ones that I've been salivating over. We got Jerome Ford, the running back for the Browns. We got David Njoku, the tight end for the Browns, and the Browns money line. I think that's hittable.
That is very hittable.
Do we ride it?
Fuck it. Let's do it.
I'll ride it for 5 bones.
LeBron would want us to for Cleveland.
10 bones or 5 bones? What are we doing?
What do you think?
I think 5.
Okay. That works for me.
A little small ball action.
We're hurting after the college playoffs. That hurt us a bit. So you know what? We'll be a little more cautious with this one. But still, I think we're coming in strong this weekend. Keep checking in on the PGO Instagram. Any picks we have or ones we feel good about, we will be putting up there. So you guys can ride with us.
We'll be ripping some same game parlays.
Yeah.
We will be taking action with us, folks. Pardon?
They can either follow along with us and love us or hate us, or they can just hang back and be like, nah.
They can ride with us and be rich, or be broke and hate us. Pause. All right.
Be broke like Russell Wilson.
Damn right, getting benched. Ladies and gentlemen, sorry for the little quick hit episode today, but we do have to run. Thank you as always to W Energy for partnering with another great PGO episode. W Energy gives you the jitter-free, crash-free energy formula that you love, you crave, and you want in your life. Stay tuned for W Energy as they are soon to be coming out with some canned energy drinks. War on Big Energy is taking place, folks, and you can join the war, join the battle. If you use the links in our bio and use code PGO for 10% off at checkout. That's right, folks. Code PGO for 10% off at checkout. That's right. 3 simple letters. PGO. 10% off at checkout. And you use the link in our bio so they know we sent you. And you can find those bios at PGO Show on Instagram and TikTok, at PG Overtime on Twitter, X, and at Postgame Overtime, Postgame one word on YouTube. Folks, thank you so much for listening. Let's ride. Let's start off 2024 with a big old bang. We want to hear it. We want to see it. And we want to be making bank in this new year. Let's have some great playoff football, baby. Go Browns. Go Lions. Go Buccaneers. Go Bills. Go Chiefs. Dolphins.
Go Swifties.
Go Swifties. Listen, if we lose on that leg, I'm fine with it, okay? I'm fine with it. I don't want to see no shake it off handshake in the Super Bowl this year, okay? If the Super Bowl is happening and every 10 seconds, the camera is cutting to Miss T Swizzle dancing with Jackson Mahomes in the press. I'm going to lose it. I'm going to quit watching football forever.
And our last one, go Cowboys. Go Dem Boys.
Oh, fuck them. I hate that team. I hate that fan base, but you know what? You know what? Ride us this one parlay and then flop to a team later in the playoffs, folks. Get through Wildcard Weekend. Do it with us. Do it with PGO. Ladies and gentlemen, we love you. Stay warm, stay cute, and see you next week.